According to BBC News, or the British Broadcasting Corporation News, the headline reads, Trump National Security Team's Chap app leak, a stunning failure. The article was written by Anthony Zuchur, the BBC North America correspondent. Tyrone Bowman live. Let's get down to the real nitty-gritty on this article. According to BBC News, there are few U.S. presidential actions more sensitive, more fraught with peril, than when and where to use American military force. If such information were obtained by American adversaries in advance, it could put lives and national foreign policy objectives at risk. Fortunately for the Trump administration, a group chat with information about an impending U.S. strike in Yemen among senior national security officials on the encrypted Chat app Signal did not fall into the wrong hands. Unfortunately, for the Trump administration, the message thread was observed by an influential political journalist, Jeffrey Goldberg. The Atlantic magazine editor-in-chief, in an article posted on Monday on his publication's website, says he appears to have been inadvertently added to the chat by White House National Security Advisor Michael Walls. Members of the group seem to include Vice President J.D. Vance, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, among others. A National Security Council spokesman told the BBC the text message thread, quote, appears to be authentic, close quote. Goldberg says the group debated policy and discussed operational details about the impending U.S. military strike. Conversations that provided a rare, near real-time look at the inner workings of Trump's senior national security team. Quote, amazing job, Walsh wrote to the group just minutes after the U.S. strikes on Houthi targets in Yemen took place on Saturday, 15th of March. He followed up with emojis of a U.S. flag, a fist, and fire. Other senior officials joined in on the group congratulations. That an outsider could inadvertently be added to the sensitive national defense conversations represents a stunning failure of operational security by the Trump administration, and that these conversations were taking place outside of secure government channels designed for such sensitive communications could violate the Espionage Act, which sets rules for handling classified information. Quote, this administration is playing fast and loose with our nation's most classified info and makes all Americans less safe. Close quote. Senator Mark Warner of Virginia, the ranking Democrat on the Senate Intelligence Committee, posted on X. Democratic Congressman Chris Deluzio said in a press statement that the House Armed Services Committee, on which he sits, must conduct a full investigation and hearing on the matter as soon as possible. Quote, this is an outrageous national security breach, and heads should roll, close quote, he said. Criticism wasn't limited to Democrats either. Don Bacon, a Republican congressman from Nebraska, told the political website Axios that the administration's actions was, quote, unconscionable, close quote. Quote, none of this should have been sent on non-secure systems. He said of Waltz's messaging, Russia and China are surely monitoring his unclassified phone, close quote. With Republicans in control of both the House of Representatives and the Senate, Trump's own party would have to initiate any kind of formal congressional investigation into the matter, which they will not do. Republican Speaker of the House Mike Johnson appeared to downplay such a possibility as he told reporters that the White House had admitted its error. Let's stop right here for a minute. That the White House admitted its error. If a black president had done the same thing and the House was controlled by the Republicans and the Senate was controlled by the Republicans, what do you think would happen if Barack Obama was the president right now. Just think about that for a minute. I'll wait. You tell me in the comments section. If Barack Obama was the president of the United States right now and the situation was reversed, and the Republicans had the Senate and the Republicans had control of the House, what do you think would be happening right now on all the MAGA bigoted racist channels and radio networks? Yeah, just like I thought. You don't have an answer. You know darn well what would happen. I have no respect for Mike Johnson, and he calls himself a Christian. I have no respect for him because he goes along with everything that is wrong. They'll tighten up and make sure it doesn't happen again, Mike Johnson said. I don't know what else you can say about that. Trump, for his part, pleaded ignorance when asked by reporters in the Oval Office about the Atlantic story, saying that it was the first time he had heard of it. The White House then released a statement defending the president's national security team, including Walls. The strikes were highly successful and effective, the White House noted. That could help minimize some of the political fallout from the Chat group discussions, which also revealed some divisions within Trump's national security team. There was no honor among these. Evil communication corrupts good manners. That's from the Bible. J.D. Vance was the highest ranking participant in the Signal Text group that disclosed detailed plans about the U.S. military strike on Yemen. Mark my words, Senator Bernie Sanders, the independent voice, the moral conscience of the nation, is going to become the loudest person in the room. And he is not going to keep quiet. He's not going to hold back. While the vice president has typically marched in lockstep with Trump in his public comments on foreign policy, in their private discussions, he said that he thought the administration was making a mistake by taking military action. He noted that the targeted Houthi forces in Yemen posed a larger threat for European shipping, while the danger to American trade was minimal. Quote, I'm not sure the president is aware how inconsistent this is with his message on Europe right now, Vance wrote. There's a further risk that we see moderate to severe spike in oil prices, close quote. The vice president went on to say that he would support what the team decided and, quote, keep these concerns to myself, close quote. Quote, but there is a strong argument for delaying this a month, doing the messaging work on why this matters, seeing where the economy is. Look, y'all, these Republicans are not concerned about the economy. Oh, my goodness. Dick Cheney clashed with George W. Bush in the later years of his presidency, overhauling of the Iraq War, and Joe Biden believed that Barack Obama's covert operation to kill Osama bin Laden was too risky. This is also not the first time that the handling of sensitive national security material has generated headlines. Both Trump and Joe Biden were investigated for their possession of classified information after leaving the office. Special Counsel Jack Smith indicted Trump for alleged violations related to his refusal to turn over materials stored at his Mar-a-Lago residence, a case that was dropped when Trump won re-election last year. In 2016, Hillary Clinton's use of private email service for communications while U.S. Secretary of State became a major issue during her unsuccessful presidential campaign. Like this White House group Chap, some of these messages provided insight into the inner workings of Clinton's team. The revelation also proved to be political damaging. A handful of her stored messages were later deemed to contain top secret information. Quote, we can't have someone in the Oval Office who doesn't understand the meaning of the word confidential or classified, close quote, Trump said during that campaign. One of many attacks on Clinton for what he said was a clear violation of federal law. Sit back, ladies and gentlemen. This is just the beginning of what's to come. Never surrender, never quit.